What is up, everyone? JD here. I hope you're doing well today. Today, got a new knife in from Kizer. I'm excited to check it out with y'all. Let's get it. All right, we're checking out the Kizer Mini Militaw in the budget form. I know we already checked out the Mini Militaw, but I was very curious to see what the budget variant would be like, so we're going to take a look at it today. This particular version has Nitro V steel. You got a machined satin finish. This variant has G10 with, I forget what it's called. Editor, you're going to have to throw that acrylic name in here. I forget what it's called, though, and I know that's not correct. My apologies. I want to say Lexon, but I don't think that's right. So, editor, if you can just make sure that's correct. We do have a steel fold-over deep carry pocket clip. It is not reversible, just like the not the full size, the premium version of this model, which came in S45 yen with titanium handles, frame lock, not a liner lock, and then it had fat carbon inlays. So this one here, very interesting little knife. It feels just like its big brother minus the lock bar access, and I think I mentioned that on the full size variant. For this one here, if you're going to use the little choil, this is going to be a 3-finger knife for larger hands. It's definitely going to be more geared towards your medium hands. For me, I actually just kind of use the whole handle. Choking up here, plenty of space, not really in the way. As far as the Nitro V, it felt very slicey out of the box, running through the catalog paper with no issues whatsoever. Same thing with the cardboard, just a couple cuts on camera to demonstrate, but ran through that cardboard just fine. And it is a excellent pinch grip knife for any type of detailed work. So I really did like that. Nitro V seems to be done well from Kizer. I've not had any issues so far, no complaints. Works just fine. Pocket clip is very springy. It does go in and out of the pocket fine, but because of this milling on the Lexan or whatever it's called, it does skip a little bit, so you do feel that just a tiny bit. You have good access, as I mentioned earlier, to that lock bar. It's not excellent, but it's good enough to be able to easily actuate that lock bar, and the access for that reverse flick is really good. And then for the front flip, I've had no issues. I did have someone comment on the premium full size to say that it was just too heavy of a detent, and they actually ended up just getting rid of the knife because they didn't enjoy it. So keep that in mind. I do like to share feedback like that when I get it, especially when I have an opportunity to check out another variant, in this case the budget Mini Militaw, to make sure that everybody is aware of that fact if you're considering this one. So I do like that. Ceramic bearings in the pivot. We'll do a disassembly later. I have not disassembled it yet. Usually I disassemble it first and then I do it later, but because with the budget knives, since I'm not throwing the skiffs on there, I usually am not in a rush. It gives me an opportunity to spend some time with it before we get to the disassembly. But I think this is going to be pretty straightforward. It's going to be your 2 pieces of hardware here to disassemble it. I don't think there's anything under the scale. It's going to be just this T6. Sorry, I meant to say these two T8s, and then this T6 back here is going to be all that you need to take apart to disassemble it. If you want to take the scale off, though, you may need to take that additional screw off. I can't tell from here if it goes through completely, so stay tuned for the disassembly for that. Detent, very stout. Very, very stout. Easy deployment for all deployment methods. Maybe a little tight on the thumb, but it's not awful. I can get 4 fingers on here. Someone mentioned that the blade to handle ratio was horrible. I don't know that I would say horrible. I feel like they kept it from being too long or being as long because you may be able to glance that if you rub it across something inadvertently. I don't think the blade to handle ratio looks awful. Now it does come down to a tiny tip out here with the belly and the swedge and the clip point, but I like the dimensions personally. They don't offend me like that at all. All right, let's go ahead and do some size comparisons. We'll weigh the knife out and then we'll wrap up with a final score. All right, so we have the Mannix 2 lightweight here for the full size comparison, and then I have my Vosteed Hedgehog out here for the smaller knife comparison, and it's pretty close in length. The Hedgehog has just a little bit more length on it, but it's pretty comparable, and I would say the Hedgehog probably has a little bit better ergonomics because you do have a dedicated full forward finger choil that you can choke up on, but both are really, really good. Let's do a couple more. All right, so I do have the budget full-size Militaw out here because I do want you to understand this is not a compact variant. It is 100% truly a mini, 5th pocket, companion carry, mini knife. And I do have the nice guy out here because I think this is another Kizer offering here that I really like. This one coming in 154 versus the Nitro V, and you get a dedicated forward choil here. So it's a little bit better ergonomically. Also, the height on it I like just a little bit better ergonomically than the Militaw. Militaw probably looking a little bit like a better looking knife, but I really do like the nice guy. Let's grab the scale and check the weight. All right, scale out, cutting it on. The mini budget Militaw with the steel liners coming in at 2.5 ounces. That's really a good weight for a mini knife. It's going to be under 3 ounces. No issues carrying that. It's going to carry in your 5th pocket well. If it's your main carry, it's going to be excellent. Going to be a good summertime carry, and also going to go into the pouches very, very nicely. Let's go ahead and wrap it up. So on this channel, I grade everything on a scale of 1 to 10. For pocket knives, specifically, the budget realm cuts off at 7, and that's just because materials kind of limit that from being able to get any higher. Everything that goes into this, ergos, lock bar access, sharpening choil, geometry, factory edge, and again, materials that are being offered a little bit even in the budget realm, all go into account along with the price, which is really good, I think, on the budget version of the Mini Militaw. Having said all that, for me, I'm going 6.3. I think that's a very solid score. I like the soft, smooth, not soft, sorry, the smooth G10. And again, I like the see-through here that lets you see the relief cut holes underneath. I think that's a nice touch. I do like this pocket clip, works really well. Doesn't feel like it moves a ton when I'm trying to deploy it. And especially with the front flipper, I'm putting good pressure on that, and it may be because this one's shorter, but I definitely feel like for some reason it doesn't move around as much, and that could be because the scales on that budget full size are smooth, whereas this one has some traction to it, so maybe that plays a factor on it. But I like a lot about this. Easy recommendation, again, for you to use it large hand, full grip. You're going to want to land on the landing pad and hang off a little bit of the back there to get a good grip. If you're doing it with the choil cut out, again, 3-finger knife. I'm excited that I'm happy I got to check this one out. It very much holds up in my opinion. If you're on a budget and you liked the mini, it's an easy recommendation, and I'll have it linked for you down below. Shout out to watching to this point of the video. If you enjoyed, a like would be appreciated. And thank you for everyone that leaves a comment. It helps the channel. Using the links helps the channel as well. A special shout out and thanks to those channel members out there as well. You guys are amazing. Thank you for all the support. I'm out of here. Catch you next time. Peace.